Do you know or have a sneaking suspicion that you have some website links that aren't working? Well, let's get you sorted with a free tool for finding them and some help fixing them. Because ultimately, you want those website visitors to stick around and engage with your offerings and content and not leave in frustration. Hi, I'm Jane, and I'm a heart centered UK Squarespace website designer and brand strategist, helping purposeful small business owners stand out for their right fit clients without the overwhelm. So, together, we can grow businesses that the world needs while living the kind of lives we truly want. I understand that the world of web design, digital marketing, and branding can get pretty complicated and overwhelming. And that's why I'd like to take the baffle away and simplify these processes to help guide small business owners like you. Thanks for being here. So, before we get started, just to know in the description below, there's a link to my full blog post on this topic. So, you'll see more information there. Anyway, let's get started. So, what are broken links? Well, basically, they're just hyperlinks that aren't working correctly. So, that could be a button, it could be an image, it could be text. You know, when you see text perhaps underlined and you click it and it goes to a link, and then you click it and there's nothing there. Um, so, those are examples of hyperlinks. So, it's really frustrating for users, I think, and I think we've all been there. And often it's because a wrong letter's been typed in or a dash is missing, and all of a sudden you're in limbo and you get that dreaded message from Google saying, "Oops, this page doesn't exist," or the URL is misspelt. And that's what can happen for people who visit your website, which is what you don't want, especially if they're just about to purchase something or get a freebie and they could potentially be on your email list and they can't fulfill that action. So, understandably, broken links that aren't working, can be damaging for your SEO, which is your search engine optimization. And sorry to say, but Google doesn't like broken links. And you can find it can lead to higher bounce rates. That just means when somebody comes to your site, if they're going to incorrect links that don't take them anywhere, then they're going to leave very quickly. So that's a higher bounce rate. And then also, Google can struggle to scroll your website if there's links that aren't working, which is obviously going to harm ranking. And at the end of the day, it kind of isn't great for trust and building authority if people come across a lot of broken links on your website. And you don't want that. So, ultimately, it gives a poor user experience, and people aren't going to stay on your website for long, basically. So, common causes can be pages that have been deleted, or the URLs, the name of that link has changed. So, let's say it's on your blog and the blog's called ABC, and maybe somewhere along the line you've changed it to DEF, but you haven't changed that in the back end of your website or with Google. It's going to just come up with an error page. Um, Also, there might be some, perhaps a video that's been removed. You might have some private login pages now, and that's changed. Or you might have some inactive pages. So, how to fix them? So, the best way is to do a free test, which we will come to shortly. And then once you find those broken links, those areas of your website that have links that aren't working, you can go ahead and systematically, in order of priority, go ahead and change those. So, another way to go about this is to include like a custom 404 page, which is just a fancy way of saying if somebody comes across a page that doesn't exist, you can take them to a page, and I'm showing you mine. That's designed nicely, and it has other links there, to guide them to, so that they can stay on your website and not click away. Also, you can do what's called URL mapping. So if you made a mistake, as can sometimes happen, you can just do a little typo in your link, your URL when you created the page. You can do what's called URL mapping. And I'll show you a little screenshot of what that looks like in Squarespace. So, onto the tools. In my blog post, you can see these more clearly, but broken link check. At the moment, still, as in 2024, can scan up to 3,000 free pages. Um, and once it scans, again, I'm going to leave a screenshot. It will tell you what pages, what URLs are not working. And then you can just click on that URL and adjust it in the way that you need to. And then also, it might be worth going to Google Search Console and just check things there too and do any necessary changes. So, best practices, you want to look for this regularly. Ideally once a month, but maybe once a quarter, and especially on your high traffic pages. If you've got a services page and you've changed the name a few times, but you haven't adjusted it in your URL mapping, then you need to pay attention to that. And that's why these tools are really great. So I would always recommend opening up a private or incognito window to test these links. For categories and tags, at least on Squarespace, I'd recommend keeping those hidden. So there's a screenshot now, and you can see how that looks. And as I mentioned, the importance of having a custom 404 page is really important. Again, and also it's an opportunity to reflect your brand and use your brand colors and kind of style it out and make it look really nice, and put the pages there that you most want your user to look at. If, for instance, the page has changed or you've deleted it, well, then you can go ahead and maybe point them to some suggested pages like your services page or your blog or whatever. So, those are some really helpful tips. So, just to sum up, fixing any of these broken links is really important for users interacting with your website, and also for a more favorable Google ranking and for lower bounce rates. And remember, you don't need to do this manually. You can use one of the free tools suggested in my blog post or the one I've used on the video. So, all that's to be said, if you need any help with this, I offer website audits, website design, obviously, and digital strategy. So, if you need any help, personalized help, just get in touch. So, have a wonderful day, and thanks for being here. Bye bye.